A movie that gives a new definition to the term killer fashion. We watched Slaxx. We watched it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, is my buddy, my co-host, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, welcome back after our hiatus.
Yeah, it was nice taking a little break, and congratulations to you.
Thank you,
my friend. And your wedding was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Had a great time, a lot of fun. I love how you couldn't focus on one theme, so you just mixed a bunch of them together.
Hey, now, come on.
It was great. It was such where else are you gonna see guys with kilts, lightsabers at a masquerade ball, taking photos in a Tamika chair? So it was weird, but it was fun.
It was fun. We had a good time. If you guys followed us before, we're back. You know, like I said, we did take a hiatus because I had my wedding, and then
took a couple weeks. So you had vacation.
Went on a family vacation afterwards, and then we were trying to get back a little sooner, but shit happened. So
we don't have to explain it to you.
Right.
We don't have to explain shit to you. You will sit here and listen, and you will like it.
You will take it, and you'll like it.
You'll enjoy us talking about it.
And you'll say, thank you. Can you have another?
Ooh, yeah.
So we're back. I'm excited to be back.
Back and chipper.
My voice is a little hoarse tonight, a little strained.
And why would that be?
Because last night, me and our boys, Eric and Nachos McWerewolf, from the...
I know Cincinnati Jeff and Nachos McWerewolf. I don't know who this Eric guy
well, Cincinnati Jeff wasn't there. It was Eric tonight.
Oh, okay.
Eric and Nachos McWerewolf. We went to a local independent wrestling show here in St. Louis, and god damn did we have fun. We drank a lot of beer, did a lot of hooting and hollering, hootenanning. My voice a little hoarse, my hands hurt from clapping.
Your hands hurt from clapping?
Dude, we were clapping
Jesus Christ.
a lot. And we were...
That's one I haven't heard.
We were getting rowdy, making people laugh, and just having a good time.
Who was the star of the show?
The main event was I'm not going to say washed up, because he wasn't that bad, but an older Mr. Super Crazy. Super Crazy. Yes, Super Crazy from ECW and WWE fame was there as a part of the main event. And it was just a downright good show from a little promotion called, I think, Dynamo Pro Wrestling here in St. Louis. I highly suggest you guys, if you get a chance, you like wrestling in the area, check out their shows. It was a fun little evening, and it's very affordable.
Yeah, I had to watch my daughter as my wife painted the kitchen.
Yeah, Aaron had the pussy straps on and could not count with us.
Hey, man, you pick your battles. This was not a battle worth fighting.
But we had a great time. So with that said, let's get back to the show. Before we start, I want to do a quick shout out and thank you to Mr. Paul Harmon, who is our newest member of our Patreon, newest member of the Horrible Horror Army, the Moon Goon Army. So thank you very much, Paul, for your donation. I appreciate it. I also want to remind you guys, if you have any comments, concerns, suggestions, or just want to chat and say hi, you can always drop us a line and leave us a message on the Horrible Horror Hotline at 1-740-4-SUCK-IT is our hotline.
So what's the actual numbers?
Fuck if I know. Just
do it again. You don't have it. You knew I was going to ask.
No, I didn't know you were going to ask.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus.
It's not that hard to figure out. The letters are on the phone, guys. It's for suck it, so figure it out.
It's not that hard to figure out.
It's
Once
not.
you got it.
So, all right. So today's movie is a weird one. I I picked just off the description of it alone, and it's like we have to do this. I hadn't seen it before, so I was like, I didn't know if it was gonna be good or bad, but we had to do it based on the description. And that's a movie called Slaxx, Slaxx, a movie about killer blue jeans. And I'm not shitting you. So we now had on the show, we've had killer donuts, killer titties, and now killer blue jeans, and a killer train too.
Yes.
So
yes,
we've had some interesting bad guys, murderers,
monsters, creatures, entities,
whatever.
Locomotives.
Locomotives. So this is actually a fairly new movie. It's released on March 23rd of last year, so just a little over a year old. March 23rd, 2020, as a Shudder original. So you can find it right now on Amazon Prime for free. It's written by Patricia Gomez and Elza Keppert, or I could pronounce it. Could be also Keefart.
Keefart.
Her name is spelled Kepphart.
Oh, it's K-fart. Oh,
K-fart. Keefart. Yeah,
that's great.
So also directed by Elza Keefart. Keppert. It's Keefart. We're saying Keefart. Now, not much as a director for Mr. Elza. I guess probably a guy. Mr. Keefart. But he has worked on really big mega movies like X-Men, Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, Red 2, and The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. So he's got some experience working on some big budget stuff.
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Is that the one?
That's got to be one of those like The Mummy 5 straight to DVD ones. But it still had Brendan Fraser in it, so whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. The cast, only a few people I'm going to mention. Our main girl Libby is played by Romaine Dennis. She's currently on the TV show True North. She's on that. That's about it. Craig is played by Brett Donahue. He was in a TV movie called Lizzie Borden Took an Axe, so he's got some horror experience with some horror stuff. And then Gemma is played by Hanneke Talbot. She's got 23 credits, including a few episodes of Star Trek Discovery. She was on iZombie. She played Clara in the 2019 horror film Ready or Not. And she was Shimmer in the live-action DC Comics show Titans, for those who like that show and superheroes and all that stuff. So she was in part of that as well. That's really the only part of the people in the cast we're going to mention and talk about. So let's just try these bad boys on. Let's button up the slacks, zip them up, and let's go. The movie, we open in a cotton field in India, where we see like this young girls work in the fields picking cotton. And we follow this one particular girl as she walks past a sign that reads Experiment Field number 357. We crossfade to a close-up of the Canadian Cotton Clothiers logo, or the CCC, on a shipping box. And we follow the box as it gets delivered to a CCC store, which is basically just a Gap. That's all you really need to know about this store. It just imagine any standard mall and a Gap store, or a Forever 21 or
I get you're
like
going
that.
for Gap, but I'm thinking it's more aimed at American Apparel. AA, and then you have CCC, and it's that, like almost exactly the American Apparel. Their big thing was no sweatshops, all organically grown material. It was like they were really hammering that, and then they all like went out of business because the owner was crazy. But yeah, like the American Apparel for a while was like every hipster's like wet dream, because it was like, oh, the indigenous people, they get paid, they're part of the company. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, all right.
And that's
so I
why I feel it's definitely more like that.
Sure, I'm just thinking visually the store. I was thinking that it's like, I don't know, a Gap, but okay, American Apparel. Either way, a mall clothing store.
Yes.
So a worker in the back storeroom opens a box that unpacks its contents, which happens to be the new CCC super jeans called Super Shapers. These jeans look like they're made by Nazis, because the logo for the Super Shapers is just like it is an SS. It looks a little too close to the Nazis. SS logo.
That lightning style.
Yeah, just a little too close.
You know what? I didn't put that together at the time, but now I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, you're right.
Exactly like
dude, it just looks like a more stylish SS.
Yeah, that's SS. So we roll the title card and cut to a montage of the CCC in full swing, where we see several employees and customers going about their business. We meet some of our main cast, who are all CCC employees. who all seem like just pretentious fashion bitches.
It's perfect. I mean, I worked at a mall, and you're right about like the Gap, Abercrombie and Fish, American Apparel.
Yeah.
A lot of these places, they'd have the fucking headphones on.
Yes.
And they act like their job was way more important than it actually is.
Yeah.
And it was like all about appearances and just.
Yeah, they did nail that.
They nailed it. They nailed it. That pretentious, hoity-toity, pinky up bullshit.
Yes. It's like they think they're working like fucking Rodeo Drive, like Louis Vuitton or something like that. But
like they made the fucking
but
clothes.
You're working in a fucking mall. You're at
Yeah.
the goddamn Gap. But
Push buttons, you goddamn moron.
Yeah. So we meet our main girl, Libby, who shows up because she just got hired. She's showing up for her first day on the job. Back in the office is Craig, the store manager, who's watching the store and the security mommers. And let's talk about Craig for a moment because Craig is...
Unique.
He's unique. He is. Throughout the movie they call him Mr. Robot, but he is Mr. Corporate. He has bought into the CCC
hook, line, sinker
propaganda machine like 1,000%. He's also like Mr. Overly PC and nice, and is like always got a smile on his face and like, oh, where's it gonna be a great CCC day and oh, everybody's wonderful and blah blah blah.
Almost motivational speaker-esque.
Yeah, he's over the top. He is. He's quite the character.
Mm-hmm. But I know you've met people like
you've met these guys,
especially if you've worked retail. I remember I worked retail at the Walking Company, and there was a guy. We had like a regional manager or like big meeting out in Vegas, and some of the people were just like, "Walking Company is the best fucking thing."
Yeah,
just all and like their live was based around work.
Yes.
Whereas work for me is like a means to live my life.
It's funny. Like, Aaron and I have both worked at mall stores throughout our life. I didn't work at a store like this. Like you're smaller hallway. Like I worked at one of the big like famous bar now Macy's, one of the big stores. Yeah. Aaron worked at he's worked at Journeys, Walking Company, and FYE, all mall your smaller mall stores, storefront ones. So you probably a little more, I guess, as far as location wise, deal with this stuff. Have understand this a little bit more. But yeah, like. That mall mentality, or is just, and a lot of you listeners who've been there, you probably know what we're talking about.
And it's such a weird culture too, like mall culture, and it's gone.
It really
is. It's essentially
gone.
There's no more. I mean, there's a few malls, but like that big mall culture and
I mean, really since the 80s and 90s, it hasn't. That mall culture is pretty much gone.
Basically since Amazon.
Yeah,
Amazon basically killed it, and then. Technology is, like music and movie stores. Do you remember how many fucking times we used to go into those places?
Oh god,
all the time, and buy new movies, new music, all that stuff. You worked at them.
I went there a lot, but I never really bought much from those because the mall. I hated the mall price. Like I go and pay like
we're just praising the mall. And you're like, I never fucking went.
I didn't praise. Listen, there's a culture. Like I'd always go in there, but like I'm not going to spend $25 on CD when I go to Best Buy and get it for $12 or something like that. Like the mall markups. Yeah,
I always gave you a discount. I did. I always gave you a discount.
All right, maybe you did.
Don't get me wrong. My discount's not that great.
Not that great. And honestly, by the time what was left of that store, I was like, there's really nothing that I was really interested in half the time. But anyway, we're getting off topic. We're getting way off topic.
Are we?
Actually, really not. I guess
Yeah.
we are talking mall shit. So, anyway, in the back hallways, Libby's excitedly talking to this Indian girl, Shruti, who doesn't look at all like she should be working in this store compared to everybody else. Everybody else in the store is decked head to toe in the, we'll call it quote unquote, high fashion of the CCC clothing apparel and all prim and proper and just snooty. And this girl looks like she's straight out like a fucking 1990s Pearl Jam video or something like that. Like just grungy, knit stocking cap on her head, baggy layered shirts and baggy pants, and just a I don't give a fuck attitude.
Very emo attitude.
Yeah. So Shruti basically brings Libby to Craig and says, here's the new girl, and she takes off. Craig gives Libby a pile of paperwork to fill and tells her to go find Hunter on the sales floor and she'll get her started. So I do also want to comment on the sheer insanity that is the immense size of this store's back area and its warehouse. Like I said, keep in mind, this is basically a fucking Gap or an American Apparel or, Buckle, any mall store. And yet this back area, this warehouse, and this network of hallways and tunnels would rival like a fucking Walmart Supercenter or a Target. It's insanely huge for this small little store, and it just I find it funny because, like I said, for those of us who work there, like especially like
real
Journeys,
estate,
you have like
real estate comes at a premium.
Yeah, like you have small little stock rooms in the back, like Famous Bars there because again that was a bigger store and they had lots of it wasn't one giant warehouse. There was like a bunch of smaller ones located throughout the store.
So
just different departments. But as far as like your Gaps, your Journeys, you don't have giant fucking warehouses behind the store.
I will make one caveat. I worked at Reebok. I don't know if you remember when I worked there also, and that had a gigantic back room. It was freaking huge. It was enormous, but it was also a pretty big store. You remember when I worked at Reebok? I was going to nursing school at the time.
Very vaguely, but yes.
Yeah, I worked there for about a year.
I remember it. Yeah, I think like that was the time I was a little
outlet mall up in Hazelwood.
Okay, because I want to say I remember something like you were talking about like I think like some old Rams or Cardinals were coming for get like their shoes.
Yes.
Pick up their shoes.
Isaac Bruce would come in and like, what the fuck was his name? God, he was a defensive lineman or defense player for the Blues. God, he didn't speak hardly any English, but he came in all the time. His girlfriend was a fucking smoke show. Didn't speak a lick of English. She was from somewhere in, Baltic countries. God damn. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, it's just crazy how big the store, the where, and it's not just the warehouse, but then there's like all these tunnels and hallways that it's just a maze back there. And it's like, no, you go in the back room and normally it's like, there's your warehouse. It's just a door. Like on the other side, it's right there. It's ridiculous how big this place is.
Whatever.
So anyway, speaking of the back warehouse, we cut there now and we see a single pair of the new Super Shapers jeans come to life and do like a sit up on the shelf. So kind of like it's doing the old Undertaker sit up. It just kind of a straight zoop sits right up on the shelf. It's on. And then in the break room, we see some employee is reading a magazine while a YouTube video of some quote unquote famous YouTube fashion influencer plays on her phone. We'll come back to that later. On the sales room floor, Libby finds Hunter, who I guess is supposed to be like the floor manager or like a senior employee or something, head bitch in charge of the floor. She blows off Libby, passes her off to this stuck-up Asian guy named Lord. Also keep in mind about 90% of all the characters' interactions when they're speaking to each other is done over those fucking earpiece and microphones. They're not actually talking to each other face to face.
Which I thought was hilarious.
It is pretty funny because that is how it is now. Everybody's like, come in, I need Craig for Hunter, come in Hunter, I need you, and blah blah blah. And it's just that's about 90% of the dialogue exchanges through these fucking earpieces.
And I love it because they're not that far away from each other.
No, there's a bit later that's really good about that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I mean, because I remember seeing that shit like Express and other stores, and I'm like, really? I mean, does it? I mean, I get you kind of need to know where people are, but fuck.
I get it in the bigger stores. Like I see it like Borders or like a Target or like even when Jen worked at Michael's for a while, the cashier and I forget people in the back. I get that, but one of these mall stores where you can see the entire store from anywhere in the store, you don't need fucking headpieces.
I still love it.
So Lord gives Libby the business for her clothes being out of season and tells her to go buy some new ones and be back on the floor by 9 p.m. sharp. Everyone is all up and bustly because the company's founder, Harold Landgrove, is coming to see the store to make an announcement and officially launch the new Super Shaper jeans. People, Libby included, act like this guy is a fucking combination like Elon Musk, Louis Vuitton, and Gandhi or something like that. Like that's how this guy's kind of perceived and made out to be.
Dude, you nailed it. Yeah.
So now we cue a montage of Libby doing like the old Pretty Woman or like they'll try on different clothes montage while she's shopping for her new outfit. Like I said, for a place that's supposed to be like the leader in fashion and trends and all that, these clothes are fucking basic as shit and boring. I mean, they're just everything in here looks like a goddamn shit. You go like I'm gonna say Michael's again because I remember for like $5. They're just solid colored t-shirts. There's no design, no stripes, no graphics, no nothing. Just a solid color shirt that you could get at anywhere like a fucking gas station probably for $5, and they're like, that would be $75 for that T-shirt.
Dude, American Apparel. That's what it's like, dude. That's what it's like. I went to an American Apparel store in Kansas City a couple years ago, and I was like, holy shit, this place sucks. I'm just like, everything's so expensive and so fucking basic.
Yeah.
I found a pair of socks that I liked, and I'm like, these socks are kind of cool. How much are they? $20 fucking dollars for one pair of socks?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of the joke of this, like the kind of that inside joke about the clothes being so basic. But it's pretty funny. So while Libby gets some more lip from the guy at the checkout counter, who's also giving her the business, an automated message comes over the PA system that rattles the same pretentious slogan all the employees say throughout this thing, which is "Thanks for shopping at CCC and for helping make a better tomorrow today." That's their slogan. Again, it's more pretentious bullshit from a clothing store that acts like it's saving the world. The only reason I even mention that right now is because I did have the subtitles turned on at this point, and even though they say you know all that stuff, it's funny. The PA lady comes on and the text reads instead of "dear valued customers," which what you think they're saying, it says. In the subtitles, it says "dead valued customers." So I'm like, wait a minute, is that a typo, or did the PA system really? Is that like
just try and slide that
one
through?
Slide that in like a subconscious,
That's kind of funny.
So yeah, but then thanks for shopping, make it better tomorrow today, blah blah blah. So back in the office, Craig himself is giving himself like an intense self-motivational prep talk about how he's gonna make a great regional manager, and that he's the man, and yeah, he's Mr. Corporate, he's the best. And then we cut to the warehouse where one of the employees comes in, grabs a pair of the SS jeans that we saw come to life, but
swipes them off the shelf.
But they're just laying there now. Then leaves. We go back to Libby, freshen up in the bathroom. She hides in a stall for some reason. I don't know why she
was getting changed into her new clothes, and she was in her bra. So, I mean, I kind of get maybe you're like, I want some privacy. She's topless, I mean, she wants to.
Okay.
She just had her bra on, she was changing into her new clothes.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. It's a women's room. I don't know. It's weird, but.
Whatever.
Yeah, she hides. Where was it? And so Gemma, Hunter and Gemma enter. They're to enter. Gemma pulls out the SS jeans to change into. There's a bit here with the two of them threatening to report each other for breaking rules to Craig, the Robot King. Hunter threatens to report Gemma for taking the hands off, no touchy, super shaper jeans, which is supposed to be under lock and key, basically. And then Gemma kind of is saying that, well, if you report me, Hunter, I'll report you for your sexcapades that you have in the back with the Muy Caliente jailbait kid or whatever. It's not bad, but it's kind of a funny little interaction between the two of them. And that's it. Gemma changes into the SS jeans, but cuts her finger on the zipper as she zips them up. Hunter says to Gemma, if Robot King catches you, know that I have no part in this, to which Gemma replies, small price to pay for an awesome ass, while she rubs her hand on her ass. And I will say, her ass does look pretty awesome.
It is nice.
It's a great looking ass. It's
bad.
A very good ass shot. We go back to the sales floor. The store is closed now. All the customers are gone, and the employees are gathered around as Craig starts talking to them. Suddenly, Gemma starts getting stomach pains. Hunter's like, what's wrong? And Gemma just thinks that, says that bitch Aunt Flo's come a week early, and then she walks off to the back to go back to the bathroom. But as she walks away, everyone notices that she's wearing the SS jeans because they're like, because they see the Nazi logo on her butt.
The Nazi logo on her butt.
This leads to a kind of funny exchange between Gemma and Craig again, and the scene ends with Gemma going into a bathroom stall to check herself.
To plug her hole, as she put it.
Yeah. Back on the sales floor, Harold has arrived at this point. He's tossing out shirts to adoring and applauding employees. He then goes into like this church, almost cult-like call and response he's given to these people before giving a speech about how great the company is and how the awesomeness that is the new shape super shaper jeans are, and that the jeans like automatically adapt to the wearer's body size based on like heat or like they mold to you and they shape you and make you look good.
So if you're 5 pounds overweight or 5 pounds underweight, it's
they
still
will
gonna
adjust.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds you of like the fucking self-lacing shoes in Back to the Future 2.
We know it is. It's fucking elastic, man. Just put a little elastic.
It's like
amazing.
It's like denim mixed with spandex or something. Like, I don't know. But man, it's like it really is almost the scariest part of the movie is this weird like cult following he's turning his employees into. He's like doing like be loved and like be loved, be free, and like just be to be, and they're like chant. He's like, holy shit, these guys are fucking brainwashed zombies. Dude, it was creepy.
I totally agree, and it's like a lot of companies do that shit. Starbucks kind of does that shit. You know, Apple does that kind of shit. When I worked at Walking Company, they were kind of like that a little bit. Like their big gift to all of us were like, okay, you guys are the managers. Thank you so much. Here's your present. Look underneath your seat. It was this big like showroom in Vegas. I reached under my seat and I pull out this nice, high quality leather jacket, but on the back it just says Walking Company all over the back. I'm like, fuck. Like, it's a really nice jacket and we just ruined it with this horrible
I ain't
logo.
wearing this.
No. I just gave it to Goodwill as soon as I got home. So some homeless guy's got a sweet Walking Company jacket.
There you go. So while Harold gives his speech, Gemma realizes while she's in the bathroom that for some reason she can't get the jeans off of her. And not just that, but they're actually starting to get tighter on her. And
cinching up on that waist.
yeah, the jeans keep tightening more and more around Gemma's waistline. She's screaming in pain, fighting to get the jeans off as blood starts oozing out from her waistline. This goes on for a bit. We go back and forth between Gemma and the speech. But basically, finding the jeans tighten on her so much that she's literally pretty much cut in half and killed. After she dies, the jeans start to lick/drink up all the blood, and we see a part of the SS logo fills in red.
I thought that was awesome.
That was a nice touch.
The SS logo has like 4 separate squares.
Yeah, the S's are kind of broken up into these sections, and there's like 4 empty sections of this.
And one of them fills in red. I'm like,
yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
I liked it too. I thought that was a cool touch because maybe like, ooh, what's gonna happen when they get all 4?
Yeah.
Like, ooh. So next, Harold shows them a promo video for the SS jeans that everyone watches. One of the new girls that came with Harold, this girl that came in with Harold is Barbara, who at this point I thought was a rival store manager. Who's also one of the regional manager job that Craig wants, but I don't know if that's right or if she's just like a lower corporate woman who just doesn't like Craig. Like there's definitely some kind of rivalry going on between the two, but we see her later and she doesn't. It's not like she's acting like, oh, she never says I'm getting that regional position or shot. She's basically telling Craig, you're never getting it. Like maybe she's like,
I think she is a regional manager.
Maybe she's already one, or she's like a corporate one, just like, I don't like you, Craig. You're not getting this. I'm gonna fucking blacklist you or something like that. Her role is never really explained, but she comes and goes with Harold. So she might be his fucking assistant or I don't know, gatekeeper or something. So Harold makes one more big announcement that YouTube star and influencer Peyton Jewell herself will be coming to the store for a special midnight sneak preview of the new collection and the Super Shaper jeans. And Peyton Jewell is the YouTube person we saw on the girl's phone earlier. So Barb and Craig talk about how the store is going to be on lockdown till morning. So if the store's on lockdown, how is Peyton Jewell supposed to get in here and do her thing? So Barb explains that there will be a 5-minute window for Peyton to get in, another 5-minute window for her to get out, and she'll have 1 hour in between to do her live fashion haul and preview video, all this, but that the video won't get posted till 8 in the morning tomorrow, so it's not gonna be live. It's just gonna be, they'll have time to come in, do their thing, and leave. Harold and Barb then leave the store. The store now goes into its lockdown, which is fucking, like, they treat this place now like it's a goddamn federal prison. Like, it is straight locked down. And I'm sorry, but there's no goddamn way that a fucking mall store would be able to do this. Nor do I think it would be legal for them to do this anyway. Just to lock these people in with no communications, just cut off from the world for like 12 hours.
No phones, no internet, no ability to make phone calls.
Yeah.
It's completely locked down.
Yeah, it is, and like the store doors and windows are just get covered by these giant metal like rolling like shutters that just come down from the ceiling like. I mean, it's something you see in like almost like a sci-fi or like action movie where it's like going to bound, it's locked down, chunk, or like in the first oh shit, what's that movie? Purge, the first Purge, where everybody has like those metal security things that come down, lock off the house. That's basically what's happening here in this mall store. And then there's some filler about Peyton, that shows some Peyton Jewel YouTube videos, some more of her. Then we get a montage of the employees setting up for the big Monday Madness sale. They're going about their business, setting things up, getting the new line, the new season, the new line of clothes set up. Which again is just more solid color print, like just not print, solid colored T-shirts. There is another. This is kind of what you were talking about earlier, but there's a funny moment here where Craig is talking to Hunter over the earpiece, and Hunter's like, "Where's Gemma? Where'd you better go find Gemma?" And he's all mad. But it turns out like the way they shoot it, you don't see it first. So like the very final shot, and it turns out like Hunter's literally just like 3 feet behind Craig as they're talking to her on the earpiece. And Hunter's
not
like,
looking at each other.
Fine, again. He's like, "Whoa, oh wait, yeah." Just they were seriously like 3 feet apart, talking. But instead of talking to each other, you go in the earpiece. It's well done and it's kind of humorous. So basically, Craig sends Hunter off to find Gemma. So I also find it funny that again, this just shows more of the pretentious nature of this store and this company. That each, like I said, it's a small store. You can see everything. It's small. So, but each like quote unquote section of this store based on like the different colors of the clothing isn't just called a section. It's like, oh, you want the green section, you want t-shirt section, no, it's an ecosystem.
Yes.
Each section is an ecosystem. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I loved it. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
It is. It really is perfect. But it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's just goddamn. It's just so much more that bullshit pretentiousness coming through. It's pretty funny. So Hunter goes to the bathroom to look for Gemma. When she gets there, she finds it's empty. There's no trace of Gemma except for the SS jeans she was wearing hanging over a stall door. Hunter then goes over, grabs the jeans, and then she seems to get like hypnotized by the jeans. Like her eyes go like glow green or something.
You see the SS logo in her eye, and it starts to swirl.
Yes.
And you can tell she's like becoming like entranced by the jeans and their hypnotic pull.
Yes. So basically, I guess she didn't decide. The jeans will her or tell her that she puts the jeans on. She starts putting the jeans on. And as she puts the jeans on, the legs start flailing around everywhere, like flapping. And
so she struggles. She finally gets them on as they're flapping all around.
Yes. Which would be like red flag. Like, holy shit, why are these jeans flapping around? Like, I think I'm done here. But nope. I guess she's hypnotized. She continues to struggle with them. Which is weird, though. If the jeans wanted her to put them on, why would they be struggling? They just like, yep, put me on. Like, why would... That's
right. That's a good point. Get with it, jeans.
Yeah. So once Hunter has the jeans on, her legs just go like fucking ballistic now. Like they're twisting and contorting, causing Hunter to spin around and she
shuffling around all weird. Yeah.
Yeah, she's shuffling around all weird. And hold on a second. That's that one. And so she's spinning around in a circle and she trips over her legs. She loses her balance and she falls face first into a clothing rack, which a hanging hook that impales her right in one of her soft,
wet eye hole.
I'm glad you had that one for me.
Yeah. We need a little of that today.
Yeah, right in the eye.
Right in the eye. She's dead. Back out front, there's a short scene between Libby and Shruti about Bollywood music, and that's racist. You think I like Bollywood because I'm Indian? Blah, blah. It's a bit, but whatever.
Yeah, it comes back later, though.
It does come back later. And then it cuts to one of the security cameras where we see the jeans now crawling, like making their way down a hallway, kind of like crawling like an inchworm or just kind of like a...
Right.
It's really... And again, for practical effects... It's pretty well done.
And I like the way they did it, too, because they use the security camera footage, so it's like you can still hide some of the, it's more of a grainy-looking footage.
A little grainy, yeah.
So you can get away probably with, like, strings and things like that, that would be picked up on more high-definition camera. So, well done.
Yeah, and it looks fine. Like, I have no problem with the practical effects in there. It doesn't look too cheesy or too bad at all when you see the jeans moving around. In the spec in the storefront, Craig is starting to freak out about Hunter and Gemma both missing now. So now he sends Libby to go find them. The new girl is like, you know what, you're going to go find them. We go to the jeans. We see the jeans slither into a cardboard box as we see Libby enter the bathrooms looking for Hunter and Gemma. Libby looks down and sees a strand of hair sticking out from underneath the sink cabinets. She opens the door, falls back in shock when she sees the severed remains of Gemma along like a pile of intestines just crammed into this like under the sink cabinet. Libby keeps it together pretty well, and she goes back to Craig and tells him Gemma's dead, and takes him to the body to show the body to him. Upon seeing Gemma, Craig just says, "Wow, I know she had body issues, but it's just so sad that she couldn't reach out for help. So tragic, so sad."
So he's selling this as a fucking suicide.
Yeah.
What? You kill yourself by cutting yourself in half?
How do you do that? How could you physically even do that?
And then stuff yourself into a...
Yeah, and then post-death, stuff your dead body parts into a cabinet after you kill yourself by cutting yourself in half.
So this guy's gaslighting like a motherfucker.
Yeah. So Libby's like, "Hey, we need to call the police or what you do," but Craig's like, "Hey, we can't because we're in lockdown. There's no reception. There's no phones, no internet." I'm like, again, this would never fucking happen. No store would allow this to happen because of this very reason. If something goes wrong, but why? Fuck it, whatever.
Well, I also get the sense that this guy, is a little nuts, and he does not want anything to encumber the launch of these.
Right. He doesn't. Yeah, he's Mr. Corporate, Mr. He wants that promotion. He's going to do everything he can to make sure this goes smoothly.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like,
I wish he's like, we can't do that. We got to make sure. Like, I kind of wish, like, because you're right. There's always going to be some sort of fail-safe, some sort of emergency, something there. And of course, he'd be hammering that guy about it. But if I wish he was just more like, we got to keep going forward. He kind of was, but he just kind of tried to wash it up.
But he was also,
can't do it. It's out of my hands.
But at the same time, he was doing it in a way that doesn't come off as like insane, heartless guy. He was so like very like, no, he's so like that very PC, very overly nice and almost like sickeningly nice attitude about like, no, we can't do it. And here's why. Blah blah blah.
We'll take care of it later.
Yeah, like he had a reason for everything. Like, don't worry, we're still gonna take care of her. We're not gonna ignore her. We're not gonna blow her. We'll have to do it in the right way. So basically, instead of doing something, Craig decides that, if they tell the others, like, we can't do anything else because they were just inside a panic, so we just got to keep it to ourselves for now. So Libby's all worried that there's a killer in the store, and again, Craig tells her that there's no killer unless you consider Gemma a killer of herself. And again, I love the fact that he just thinks that he killed herself and shoved herself into a cabinet after she fucking died. Anyway, he does convince Libby through guilt and like kind of semi-threats to help him hide the body until the lockdown is over. Like, it's the nicest threats. He says it in the nicest way, but there's like an underlying threat there.
Right.
So they just dump Gemma's body parts into like a large like laundry cart, like one of those big like pushings you see in like hotels, like in the old prison movies. People would hide in there and cover themselves up with like sheets to escape. One of those big things. And then they basically push her in a back hallway somewhere and cover her with a tarp. And while they push it, Craig continues to try to reassure Libby, and he even promised her a better. He's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm even give you a better employee discount." Basically trying to buy her silence with more clothing and discounts. We cut to Libby now back in the storefront working, and she's kind of like watching everyone. You get that, because everyone's a suspect.
There's a murderer, absolutely.
The old Jamie Kennedy scream, like, everyone's a suspect. That thing. So now we go to Lord, the Asian guy. He's in the back. He opens the box that the SS jeans had crawled into. He sees the jeans. He snatches them up. And, ooh, it's like he's like going with the one ring. He's like, oh, my precious. And he quickly leaves the sales floor and heads back to the back warehouse. He's standing there. He's staring at the jeans, which now have 2 red filled-in sections instead of the one from before. He too kind of seems to get hypnotized by it. We don't see his eyes change. But
but he definitely has.
But he's still there staring there, and
kind of going to a trance. Yeah.
And so he heads further back into the warehouse, further away from everybody else. He's standing there. He holds the jeans up in front of him. He unzips them, and that's when the jeans come to life again. Excuse me. The zipper zips itself up so fast it cuts Lord's thumb
Clean off.
Blood sprays everywhere. He's screeching like because he's this. I love the way he freaks out because he's a gay Asian guy, so and kind of effeminate, and he's like freaking out, and it's kind of hilarious the way he's screaming and carrying on. The jeans then he drops the jeans to the floor. The jeans then leap up off the floor like they pounce on, like leap up on, latch on to Lord's left hand, and like bites his hand off. And like eats his hand or something, just clean off. More blood spraying. Like he stumps there. He's like, ah! And then blood's flying over, spraying the wall, spraying his face. He's screaming, freaking out. The jeans still not done yet. They then jump back up and latch on to his right hand. Now they bite that off as well. So now he's got no hand. 2 bloody stumps, blood's flying everywhere. He's
everywhere,
screaming.
just getting covered in blood.
Covered
and
in blood.
It's like the jeans' waist. The open waist is like the mouth, and like the pockets are almost like eyes.
The ass pockets.
The ass pockets are basically like eyes.
Again, for killer jeans, it looks pretty good.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. It's great. So after biting off and eating Lord's hands, the jeans fall to the floor where they hiss at Lord like, and Lord, and then I guess they snarl at him too. And we see like sharp teeth appear in the waistline for a little bit, and then the jeans leap at him again. They jump up at Lord again. This time they latch onto and wrap around his neck. The jeans dig its teeth into Lord's neck, and then with their teeth logged into his neck, they like do like a quick spin, which like slits his throat wide open. More blood is everywhere, and buckets of blood spray out of his neck as Lord falls to the floor dead. And then we just see the jeans begin to like slurp up all the blood and on the floor, and then we see another section of the SS logo fill in red. So that's 3 of the 4 now filled in. Up front, Craig is losing his shit because now Lord won't answer his earpiece.
He's 3 people down.
Yeah, he's 3 people down. So he storms off to the back area. Seeing this, Libby follows him into the back. In the warehouse, Craig finds a single cardboard box sitting in the middle of the floor. He goes over to it, kneels down, opens it up, and inside finds Lord's severed hands and head. So I guess the parents didn't eat the hands. They just kind of, I don't know. Libby walks up, looks into the box while Craig is reciting the store's like nonsense B to B mantra. Like that's his soothing. He's like, B to B, B to B, B to B, B to B. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is so perfectly pretentious and nonsensical, but yet at the same time, it's a great, like, weird mantra for the store to have. So, seeing this, again, she wants to call the cops. Craig still won't let her do that, but this time says that he's going to call Harold instead because Harold will know what to do. I guess, like, okay, sure. And that Harold will advise him on the best course of action. So the 2 of them head off together, and he lets Libby, like, all right, Libby, after you, we'll go call Harold. As soon as Libby walks past them, Craig grabs a mannequin leg, bashes Libby over the back of the head with it, knocking her unconscious. We cut back to the front doors where the automatic lockdown deactivates so Peyton Jewel and her small film crew can enter the store.
The YouTube star.
Yeah, so now we officially meet Peyton Jewel, who is just annoying and full of herself,
narcissistic,
and thinks she's like Beyonce level famous, just like nearly every other fucking YouTube star on the planet.
Fucking YouTube stars are so weird. I just don't understand it.
I can't stand about 90% of them.
This is where I'm just like a fuddy-duddy. I'm an old fuddy-duddy, and fuck it, I'm gonna wear a Hawaiian shirt when I go on vacation. God damn it, because I feel like I identify better with that now. I'm just an old fat man. I'm just enjoying my life because I don't understand this YouTube shit at all. I do like YouTube. I do follow a few things, but I just don't understand the gravitas some of these like influencers get.
Yeah, like,
I don't
how
understand.
Some of these fucking people on YouTube are bigger celebrities, or at least think they're bigger celebrities than like fucking like Chris Evans or Scarlett Johansson or like fucking Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise. Like these.
I like how almost all of them were like Marvel Universe.
I know. I guess I'm saying that. Like, no. Oh, no, that was Marvel too. Oh, shit, he was Marvel too. Fuck, who was it in Marvel?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, he was in Marvel. Yeah, sure. Like these major celebrities, and like, but yeah, I don't get it either. Most of them drive me fucking insane. And just like this store, they're pretentious and full of themselves.
Except for Milo. Except for Milo Pantone.
And think they're bigger than they are. But anyway, so Peyton and her crew come in now. Peyton sees the poster for the SS jeans, and and Barb's with him too, by the way. Barb's also there. So that's why I don't think she's a regional manager. I don't know if I think she works with corporate or something.
Sure.
I think she's but anyway, Peyton sees a poster for the SS jeans and demands that she gets to try on a pair right now. So Craig rushes off to get her a pair, while Barb deals with Peyton and gives her a bunch of like super exclusive CCC merch, which I guess is a leather jacket with CCC logo on the back of it. That's the exclusive shit. So Craig grabs a pair of the SS jeans from the back, heads back to Peyton, who has already started filming. We see Peyton standing in front of a wall of hanging jeans behind her, talking to the camera. Barb leaves Peyton and her crew to film and heads to the back and goes into the office. As Peyton talks to the camera about how amazing the SS jeans are, we see the middle pair of jeans hanging behind her start to come to life.
They have the 3 little squares filled in.
Yes
so you know it's the killer jeans.
Yes. So the camera girl and the sound guy look kind of confused and shocked to see this happening. As kind of Peyton, we see the legs that just start to wrap around her neck, and Peyton's like, "What the fuck?" Peyton starts to turn around to look back, and that's when the jeans leap off the hanger and tighten around Peyton's neck like an anaconda. They tighten and then jerk upwards, snapping Peyton's neck, killing her instantly. And I gotta say, I was kind of hoping we were gonna see Payne's head just pop off instead. I was hoping for like the head pop off.
I liked it because the legs wrapped around the legs, like did a twisty eye, like
twisted
and twisted,
twisted.
Yeah, like did like the twist and then yanked their neck and break, and their head was turning purple.
Yeah,
it was actually a pretty good effect. The head was like you could see the circulation being cut off. I wasn't necessarily sold on the head pop, but now when you mention it, that would have been pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I would love to see the head pop.
I feel like maybe they shouldn't have done that considering they already kind of teased it with the teeth and Lord, getting almost his head cut off.
Yeah.
But still, it was good. I liked it.
I mean, I guess there's limitations but with their budget, but still, like a head pop off would have been awesome right there. At this point, the film crew and all the other employees have stopped in their tracks and are just watching in shocked confusion at what just happened. The jeans release their grip on Peyton and then stand fully up. So this is the first time we see the jeans actually like stand up. And they leap on top of one of the clothing displays. The jeans and all the people there just kind of stand there looking at each other for a moment, like, what the fuck? The jeans like, ooh, pray, and the other like, what the fuck? We got magic, like, they're jeans. What's happening? And then right before the jeans launch themselves, and then the jeans launch themselves at the camera girl, who screams like, ah! And it cuts away, and then we just basically see like some like weird B footage, but it just still shots, but of like the jeans are going on this massive murder spree,
it's killing everybody,
just killing every single person on the sales room floor. Sadly, we don't see it, but we just see
people running by screaming, a few blood, you see like a blood splat.
Oh, and it shows a close up of the camera. The camera girl's camera that's on the floor now. It's still recording all of it, but it's on the floor. But you don't see it. That's all you see. We cut to Libby waking up in the back as Cerruti pushes a cart down the back hallway. Craig returns to the floor with the SS jeans for Payne, which, by the way, like, this is the one time where like he was gone so long to get one pair. He should have been gone and back by now, but like, the amount of time he was gone is kind of ridiculous. It just shows how big, like, how far away did he have to go to get these jeans in this shop. So he comes back and finds the place a total mess. There's blood on the floor. He sees the jeans, like, again, drinking up a large pool of blood, and seeing this crazy. Like, he doesn't say anything. He's like, oh. And he just slowly backs away and slowly closes the door behind him without ever getting seen by the jeans. And then he takes off running down the hallway, which is weird because that's what the jeans hear. Like, the jeans can hear him running down the hallway in the back, but throughout this entire movie, when people are screaming bloody murder in the warehouse, in the bathroom, and like you had like 20 people just get massacred in the store in front, nobody hears that. Nobody hears like, holy shit, what's happening out there? Everybody's screaming and dying. Nobody hears their comments, but the jeans can hear one set of footsteps running down a hallway, like on the other side of the door on the wall. Like,
what? It's hard to question the hearing ability of genes.
Right.
Who knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
they're great. Maybe they got great ears.
Maybe they're like dogs and cats. Maybe they do. It's supernatural. But still, the fact that nobody, like Craig, Libby, nobody hears everybody screaming.
Well, Libby was unconscious. Craig was way in the back, and the Indian girls listened to music. That's the only thing. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
You're right. I mean, I guess that could be. Yeah, I mean, that could be their excuse right now. I'll give you that. Okay. I don't know, but nobody heard Lord screaming. Nobody heard any of us. Anyway. Anyway, at this point, Craig, he runs for the office. Craig goes where he finds Barb, who has no clue what's happening, apparently, because she's been so again, she should have heard it. And that's where the security monitors are. She could have seen it.
Right.
But I guess she wasn't looking at the monitors. Barb just starts berating Craig for whatever reason. It's like, you suck, you're terrible.
Because he's all rattled. He's trying to keep it together, but you can tell he's all fucking rattled and stressed out because obviously people just got killed by genes. But he's trying to keep his shit together, and she just sees him as like falling apart, probably because of the pressure of opening up this new line. And she's like, you're fucking pathetic. You're not going to be a regional manager. You're washed up.
Yeah. And then she goes to leave, and Craig, no, stop, you can't go out there. And he looks on the security monitors and sees the genes crawling down the hallway outside the door.
Right outside their door, yeah.
Barb continues just to lay into Craig, saying that he has no chance at the regional manager's job, calls him a pathetic little store manager, and that's all he's ever going to be. You see it really rattle Craig. Like, it hits him hard. He's like, oh, it's always like, oh, it breaks his heart. Like, he comes to realize, like, oh my God, I'm never going to be anything higher. But then, Barb's like, are we done here? And at that, then Craig snaps. Something inside him snaps at that point. Because you can see this almost sickening, like, smile just kind of creep up onto his face. And he's like, oh, yes. Yes, indeed, we're done. And Barb, he lets her go. Barb walks out the door, closes it behind her, saying, or right before she says, never sent a boy to do a woman's job. And then she turns and leaves the office. After she leaves, Craig turns to the security monitors and watches her goes down the hallway, the same direction the genes went. So she's right there, following the genes. And then we just hear Barb screaming as she's killed off screen while Craig watches and smiles watching the monitors as she's dying. And then we just see like her bloody shoe in the hallway, and that's it. So like, oh, it's getting dark.
It's getting weird.
It's getting weird. Craig's losing it. Sharuti returns to the sales floor while listening to her headphones and singing along with her Bollywood music. She goes about her work for a while as the genes start to creep up behind her. But when
the genes get close to her.
Yes, as the genes start getting closer, they can start hearing her Bollywood music through her headphones. And this entices the genes to stand up and start dancing.
Bollywood style dancing.
Bollywood dancing sentient genes going on, and Sharuti's completely oblivious to this. And we do see all this is still being recorded by the camera that's still on the floor that no one's noticed, that's still recording all of this. Sharuti's totally oblivious to the genes dancing behind her. Her alarm goes off on her phone, and she looks like, she's like, all right, break time. And she just walks off, and the genes just kind of stand there behind her and watch her leave. The genes then turns attention to the half mannequin that Sharuti was setting up on a display case. We cut to a close-up of a mannequin hand being dipped in blood, and then the blood-covered fingers placing a red blood dot on the forehead of a mannequin head.
To basically make it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, I got a whole thing about this coming up. I guess we can do it now. The
little red dot in the middle obviously is the bindi. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So for that to process my education moment, I got this thing on. So the Hindu bindi, for those of you who don't know, I always wonder what that red dot is. It's called a bindi. The bindi, meaning point, drop, dot, or small particle, is a colored dot worn on the center of the forehead, originally by Hindus and Jains, Jains, from the Indian subcontinent. The word bindi dates back to the hymn of creation known as Nasadya Sukta in the Rigveda Mandala 10, Bindu is considered the point at which creation begins and may become unity. It is also described as the sacred symbol of the cosmos in its unmanifested state. Bindi is a bright dot of color applied to the center of the forehead, close to the eyebrows or in the middle of the forehead. Traditionally, the area between the eyebrows where the bindi is placed is said to be the sixth chakra, or the ajna, the seat of concealed wisdom. The bindi is said to retain energy and strengthen concentration. The bindi also represents the third eye. In Hinduism, the color is normally red or maroon, and these colors represent honor, love, and prosperity. Hence, it's worn to symbolize these aspects as well. And which is why a lot of times the bindi is traditionally worn by women for religious purposes, and also indicate that they are married against going on to love and honor their spouse. So there's a little bit of your education moment on the bindi this week.
Thanks. I always just thought it was a sign of like almost like marriage. Like and it was always usually women, and it is, but I didn't know there was all that extra stuff that went with it.
And there's a whole lot more, but I cut down to that. Just cut
sure,
it down to that,
and that's something. It's interesting because I'm I like to think of myself as someone who knows a lot about different cultures and stuff like that, but I don't know hardly anything about like Indian culture really.
Yeah, I don't know
that's one
either.
I'm kind of oblivious to. Not by any like means, it just happens to be.
So where were we?
Bindi,
so
mannequin,
the bindi,
bindi.
mannequin. We see a mannequin hand place a bindi on a mannequin head. We jump back to Libby, who is finally up and wandering around again. She goes to the sales room floor, finds it a complete mess, but everybody's gone and it's abandoned. She does find the video camera on the floor. She picks it up and starts watching back some of the footage. After which she goes to the break room to get Saruti, where she shows Saruti all the recorded footage of the jeans killing Peyton and then dancing behind her. They hear the automated door locks opening again, which this is where they're opening for Peyton and her crew to leave. So they take off running to the front doors, but they don't reach the doors in time, and they see them close and lock right as they reach them. So again, that makes me wonder how fucking big this place is.
Yes, because they
said 5 minutes.
They looked at the clock, and it was 11:55.
Yes.
And they just missed the door shutting down.
5 minutes to get to the break room, to the front door of a fucking mall Gap store, basically. Are you kidding me?
Like, people run, 5-minute miles all the time. It's like, how, and I'm sure they were hauling ass. I'm not saying, but you're basically saying it's close to a mile.
Yes. It took him more than 5 minutes to get from the break room to the front door.
Because you have killer fucking jeans. You're going to be booking your ass off to get out of there.
Yes.
So let's even say half a mile. That's a fucking giant piece of real estate.
Yeah,
Jesus
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying this whole time. This place is like a goddamn Amazon fulfillment center or something. It's just huge. It's unbelievable. So, but yeah, so the doors lock again and they're stuck inside. They run for the back doors now, which are also locked and sealed. Shruti tries calling people on her earpieces, but gets no response from anyone. Shruti then tells Libby that they have to get to the office for some reason, and they go back and they go to the office.
She gets a hold of what's his name, the manager.
Craig?
Yes, she gets a hold of Craig, and he's like, "I'm in the office."
Oh,
and,
I didn't know. Okay,
but
I missed that part.
The little gal, she's like, I don't want to fucking go because she got fucking mollywopped in the head with a goddamn mannequin leg.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't know, let's not go. But Saruti's like, look, it's got a lock on the door. It's a lot better than being exposed. So that's why they go.
I guess I missed that exchange then. Okay, makes sense. They reach the office. Craig lets them in after a moment of hesitation. He's like, but he does let them in. After some talking, Libby comes up with the idea of playing the Bollywood music over the PA system, which will lure out the jeans and let them see where they are on the cameras. This actually works, but what they were not expecting is now that the jeans have now attached themselves to the upper half of a mannequin.
The mannequin with the bindi.
With the bindi on it. So they're walking around like, it's like a living mannequin now. You got just possessed
for the
jeans on the bottom and then just a white stiff mannequin on top with a red shirt on.
It's kind of cool. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's just dancing in the hallway.
Yeah, it's just the legs dance because the mannequin's completely stiff. The arms aren't moving, but you just have these legs like doing this Bollywood dance down the hallway. it's quite the sight to behold. It's pretty. You gotta say it's pretty interesting. So they watch the dancing Gene mannequin hybrid dance his way down the halls. Libby turns off the music. The Genes stop dancing, and Libby now tries to talk to the Genes. The Genes, pissed that the music stopped, starts banging against the office door. So Libby turns the music back on. The Genes start dancing again. Libby comes up with the idea of having Shruti try talking to the Genes in Hindi. Because Shrew's Indian, she automatically knows how to speak Hindi.
I did like that because she even brought that up. She goes, "Oh, just because I'm Indian, I know how to." She goes, "There's 137 different languages spoke there," and I'm like, "Okay, do you speak one of them?" She's like, "Yes, I speak Hindi and Farsi, or whatever it was."
So where was I? So this actually works. The Genes actually seem to respond to Shruti, who asks the Genes what they want. The Genes then go and gets a bloody severed hand and use that to write on the walls in blood. So basically, they learn that the Genes are named Keerat, Keerat, Carrot.
It was more like carrot.
Karat.
Karat.
I don't know.
It was like karat.
Which is a girl's name in Hindi. This scene drags on for a bit. They're just talking. Yeah. So here's basically the cliff notes of what happens. They learn that Kirat was the little girl we saw in the opening of the movie working in the cotton fields. We see a flashback of her that she gets killed by the cotton grinder machine when her head covering gets caught in the blades and she's pulled into the machine head first and she's killed, and that she was 13 years old when she died. Libby confronts Craig about the CCC and its supposed use of free trade and the policy of never using sweatshops and GMOs and child labor.
I love so much, like, you use GMOs? Which I think is
like more offensive than child labor. Like, child labor, but you use GMOs?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So at this point, Craig he finally snaps. And he comes clean saying, it's all a lie. Which I also find funny because he's just a lowly store manager. Like, those kind of like massive corporate secrets and lies would only be known by like the owners, like the executive board, like the really high ups. There's no way that shit would, like, any low level employee would know that shit. You know?
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, I really don't mind that much. But because it's funny, because he's like, it's all a scam. It's all a lie. How do we make $5 jeans and sell them for $150?
Yeah.
How do you think we do that?
Yeah, but so anyway, Libby and Shruti decide that they have to help Kirat and ask her what they can do to help. Kirat points to the words justice that are written on the wall in Hindi, in blood in Hindi. Libby and Shruti like, okay, so they brave up and they actually leave the office. They go out to the hall to face Kirat in the hallway. Libby and Shruti convince Kirat to tell them the whole story so they can film it on the camera and tell the world what happened. So, but before they can get started, they're like, all right, Kirat, here we go. Tell us your story. And right before Kirat can do anything, up pops Craig from behind and blasts Kirat with a fire extinguisher. The blast knocks the mannequin body off the jeans, which breaks apart when it hits the floor. And the jeans then like scurry or whatever around the corner and disappear.
Basically fly.
Yeah, they always do kind of fly. Craig and Libby get into an argument about his actions, but Shruti breaks it up, asking how many more pairs of those jeans are there. And Craig says 175.
Yeah, it's like, well, how many of them are possessed?
Yeah.
Many? Yeah.
At this point, the power goes out. Craig runs back into the office and locks himself in. Shruti and Libby decide to head back to the warehouse to make sure none of the other jeans are alive. And on that cue, we see another pair of jeans come to life and hop down off the shelf. As they slowly make their way back down the dark corridors, they pass blood-covered clothing cards and see several blood trails that lead them to a stack of jeans. As they watch, another pair of jeans on the stack comes to life, falls to the floor, and slithers away. Using the flashlight, they follow the slithering jeans, which leads them to a pile of dead bodies that have all been just piled up in this back room. And on top of the pile of bodies are just like half a dozen jeans just like sucking the blood of all these bodies.
Just slurping them.
Yeah, like leeches. And again, it's pretty cool. Like it's a good like. You take out like okay,
it's a good visual.
If you get past the fact that they're jeans, but overall, like it's a good scary visual. Libby and Shruti slowly back away without being seen or heard. They start to go back the way they came, but find that a chain link gate has now been closed and locked, blocking them off. Craig pops up, demanding that they hand over the video camera with all the recorded footage on it. They all hear a banging coming from the doors that Libby and Shruti closed behind them. Craig tells them that any minute now those jeans are going to burst through that door. It's either you or the camera. Libby says fine. She takes the camera from Shruti, but she takes a few steps back from the gate and says, Craig, come and get it. And then she turns and walks away into the darkness towards the banging sounds coming from behind him. Craig's like, fuck, or fine, or what. He unlocks the doors and he follows after them. Craig wanders around the dark, calling out for the girls, asking for the camera, and even offering them a raise at this point. He's still holding on to that cord, like, I'll give you guys a raise.
But he's gone full, like, Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Yeah,
like, just full crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy at this point. Shruti, they're back in the warehouse. Shruti pops up saying, okay, Craig, you win, and tosses the camera like down at his feet. So here it is. Craig then pulls out, I think, a pair of scissors and stabs Shruti the neck with him, just killing her. She's dead.
Yeah, she doesn't even get a chance. Like, she's trying to, like, outfox him, and she's like, fuck it. Bam!
Bam! You're dead! So Craig then picks up the camera, looks at it, and the screen just says, no SD card. He screams in frustration, which alerts the jeans to his location. And I do have to say, though, at this point, the movie gets really dark, and not like subject matter wise, but like just visually, it's very dark. Mm-hmm. It's hard to see what's happening clearly. So we do see Libby kind of peek out from her hiding spot, and she sees like several jeans like walking in a line like away from her, like I guess going towards Craig or going somewhere. So she sneaks out from her hiding spot, but as soon as she gets out, she gets grabbed from behind by Craig, who like I said, has completely lost his mind. He calls the store more than just clothes, but it's an ecosystem of life. And he just starts choking Libby out from behind, like just throwing like sleeper hole, like
lifting her off the ground. Yeah. She's a little girl. She's small,
yeah.
Very small, and she's like maybe 18. You know, like just old enough to be an
18,
adult.
19,
you know, like just
early
tiny.
college.
Yeah.
And he's just choking the shit out of her. Libby cries out like, "Kareet, justice!" But Craig continues to choke her out and Libby just goes limp and dies. He drops her body and he starts to leave, but he's cut off by like 3 or 4 living killer jeans. Now I don't know if I'm just imagining this or if this actually happened, but the jeans then like look kind of almost form like a protective circle around Libby's body.
They're walking towards Craig, and they walk right past her, and they're kind of like, it almost looks as
like
if
that, but I can't tell if they're actually doing it or if they're just like walking over her body and they're spaced out in a weird way that looks like that.
I'm okay with either one. I think considering Kareet was a murdered, essentially, died because of this company, and then they see this, guy who wants to be nothing but a corporate stooge, corporate to the fucking core, choke out another girl, they're like, fuck that, we're going to protect her. So maybe I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with either one. I just don't know for sure. It's not really clear.
Yeah.
So, basically, but what happens next is just kind of awesome, because it's another thing I've ever seen before. And that's saying a lot for this movie because we've never seen killer jeans either. But the jeans in the front, which might be Kareet, I guess. We don't know. But they straight up do a flying drop kick to Craig and send him flying backwards into the shadows. I'm like, what? So Killer Jeans just do a flying like missile drop kick.
Love it.
To Craig. I burned like, I loved it too. At this point, all of the jeans pounce on Craig and just like...
He just buried under a pile of jeans.
Yeah, they're all hissing and slurping and sucking at him.
He's screaming.
And when they're all done with him, all that's left is a bloody skeleton with like bulging eyes
and like chunks of flesh on it. Still,
Yeah.
like it's pretty cool.
It's
looking.
like piranhas, just like a piranha.
Yeah, it's a
frenzy.
great way of putting it.
Libby wakes up, but kind of plays dead as all the jeans just walk past her and like out of the warehouse. Once they're all gone, Libby gets up. She looks over, sees what's left of Craig's corpse, and then kind of sneaks away. Libby runs down the dark hallways back to the sales floor as the power comes back on, so now she's on the sales floor. Lights are on, and she sees all the jeans now just standing like they were set up on display for the Monday Madness sale. There's like an aisle, like just like statues, just like they're all standing in a row, perfect line, right there, like they're all on display. She slowly starts walking up to the jeans, walking down this like corridor of like the line of jeans towards Crete, which is like in the middle, like looking at the front doors or something. I don't know. They're all looking at the front doors, or Crete is. Libby begs with Crete not to do this, as the sounds of the distant crowd is heard approaching.
Yeah, so people are, it's about to open
it's
the like, big new line. So there's like,
it's like Black Friday,
right? Or like the new iPhone launch or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
People are waiting outside, pounding on the doors.
They're on their way. They're not there yet, but you can hear them coming. Libby, basically saying Libby says these people haven't done anything. These are innocent people. This is not justice. The automatic door locks beep and release, and the lockdown's over. The rolling metal shutters slowly start to rise up, and we see, just all these feet, like just like dozens of people just on the other side waiting to get in. Libby's like, no, don't do this. The metal shutters rising completely up. The crowd's about to come crazy. Libby's like, no, and she rushes to the front doors, throws herself against the doors, trying with all her might to keep them closed and to hold back this mob of shoppers that are determined to get in. And then like the jeans, like a military unit, just all turn in unison and face the door, which I don't know. Some of those crowds some of that crowd had to have seen those jeans just come to life.
Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm done. Nope, you can out and leave. But no, everybody doesn't. Somehow nobody sees that. Libby's begging and pleading with the crowd. I was like, no, guys, you can't. Don't come in. You can go away. But she is easily and quickly overpowered. The doors burst open. Through. The crazed shoppers, the doors and the crazed shoppers send Libby flying to the floor, where she bashes her head on the floor as mindless shoppers rush by her and over her. Lily lays there gasping for breath as the shoppers run into the ravenous jeans. The screams of all the shoppers are heard as we see a large pool of blood slowly start oozing out from Libby's head.
Yeah.
As Libby lays there bleeding from her head and with her breathing getting slower and shallower, we see the blood. We see blood just splattering and spraying on the shore wall.
Giant splatters all over like the slogans and stuff.
Yeah, it's a CCC slogans and posters, just blood spraying everywhere. Libby reaches into her pocket and pulls something out in her hand. The massacre ends. All goes quiet. Libby's hand goes limp. She dies, and her hand relaxes, and we see she's holding the SD card for the camera in her hand. Blackout, roll credits. That's Slaxx. During the credits, there are some behind-the-scenes footage of how they made the jeans move and dance, along with some other bloopers and outtakes. But at the very, very end of the credits, the Muy Caliente jailbait kid comes out from like the fitting rooms, completely oblivious to what happened. He's like, "Hello, hello." Anybody? Like, and it's like this broken like Spanish, English, like very like he doesn't speak much. He's like, "Hello, anybody there?" And then just cuts the black again. And there's like bloody handprints on the wall by where he comes out. And that's it. That's Slaxx, guys. So it's kind of a fun little ride, but let's move on to our favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
The kills were pretty good.
They were. I was surprised.
I was really worried about when you're telling me I'm going to watch a movie about killer jeans or killer pants. I'm like, okay, strangulation. Okay, check. I know that's going to happen. I know there's going to be a cinching of the waist. Okay, check. I know that's going to happen. But I'm like, what else can we fucking do? Yeah. But they nailed it. They did good.
So what you got?
So, yeah, my favorite is going to have to be Lord. You know, getting his hands cut off, his thumb cut off, one hand cut off, the other hand cut off. And this is where we see this, like, the true sentient nature of the jeans and using its waist as a mouth and, the butt pockets as eyes.
Yeah.
You know, the hiss. And, like, this is hilarious. Plus, the actor Lord sold it.
Yeah.
You know, he was over the top crazy with it, which was pretty funny. And the blood is, you can tell it's so much ridiculous fake blood. It was so much fun. It was almost like a throwback to Trauma in a way, like how the effects were done. So that was my favorite kill.
I agree. No deviation this week. I agree. Laura was my favorite as well. Gemma was pretty good too. I just wish we saw more of her getting cut in half.
I agree.
But for an opening kill, I was like, all right, I'm aboard. It's a good opening way to go. But Lord by far was my favorite. That was just crazy to watch. The blood. So much blood, but it was good looking blood too for the most part. It wasn't like the cheap, like overly watered down Kool-Aid looking blood. It had a good color to a good character. It looked great. So yeah, I'll save some more of that for later. So that's it. Yeah, we agree. Favorite kills this week is both Lord. So let's move on to the odds and ends.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
All right, so ratings. IMDb gives it a 5.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes. Aaron, actually, I'm going to make you guess on this one. What do you think Rotten Tomatoes gave it on the thermometer?
So it has a thermometer reading.
It does. It is on the thermometer.
I'm going to guess it actually went pretty high. I'm going to go 75.
Well, I'm glad you went high, but you didn't go high enough. 97%!
Wow!
What the fuck? This thing might be like the Schindler's List, apparently. My God! I have never seen a movie rated this high on our show before. And that's never happened. This is the highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes ever on our show.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
It's super crazy.
Super crazy!
Super crazy!
But in comparison, it only has a 44% audience score. Amazon gives it a 3.8 out of 5. Plot keywords, there were only one.
Jeans.
Ding, ding, ding.
Boom! Home run for Aaron.
Trivia, I couldn't find anything on it. Budget, I couldn't find anything about it. I mean, it's still relatively new and kind of indie, so... so that's it. Yeah, moving. So that does bring us to Immortal Kombat Combat.
At the end of this day, one shall stand, one shall fall.
A fight to survive! Good versus bad. Right versus wrong. Light versus dark. In the end, when the dust settles, who will be left standing after Mortal Kombat Combat?
All right, so Mortal Kombat Combat this week. It's going to go pretty quickly again. So there's only 21 total reviews on Amazon. It's a very one-sided battle this week. 33% are 5-star, with only 7% being 1-star.
Wow.
So, the people that actually wrote reviews down, written 5 stars, we have Joel Alonzo writes, excellent use of blood and gore, no real premise. Who would have thought killer jeans, no happy ending, finally. Better than expected, 5 stars. Ant Long writes, this is a decent movie with a semi-original premise. The acting isn't nominable, 5 stars. Dude, you people need to get better understanding what consists of a 5-star review. That is at best a 3-star review. It's not bad, it's decent, and the acting is not nominable, but it's not atrocious. I mean, come on, that is not 5 stars.
Well, my favorite 5 stars was like, haven't seen it, but like the trailer.
I don't know, haven't seen it, 5 stars. From Mackie writes, it's not a waste of life like a lot of comedy horror. Waste of time like a lot of comedy horror. I really liked it, and having worked retail a good portion of my 20s, I say it's the accuracy for me, but the film definitely kept my attention start to finish, 5 stars. Robin S. Klippel, quick fun horror movie, nice twist on a monster / ghost / what the fuck is killing people movie. Great plot and storytelling, a great horror movie for people who've worked mall retail, 5 stars. An Amazon customer writes, Bad, but in a great way. Don't take it seriously. It's meant to be ridiculous. The acting is decent, and the production is great for what it is. The killing is bloody, and overall, this had me cracking up, especially when the pants started dancing to Bollywood music. 5 stars. So on the other side of this battle, we have the 1 stars, and like I said, it's very one-sided. There's only one star review.
Really?
At least that's written. Like I said, there's more than, but only one person wrote a 1-star review. From Brian N. Just writes, waste of time. I was hoping for a campy, goofy gore fest like some great movies from the 80s. What I got was a boring waste of life. If you're over the age of 14, go watch something else. 1 star. And I couldn't even find. I looked on IMDb to find more 1 stars, and the lowest thing I could find on IMDb was like a 4 star.
Wow.
And so
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's it this week. But I mean, so 1 side battle. And I have a feeling I know where we're gonna stand on this battle line. But Aaron, what you got this week?
I found it hard to find like flaws with the movie or like even jokes.
Yeah.
Like this, I don't know if you noticed, but this episode has been very even keeled. We're not getting too crazy. We're not like harping on it. It was a solid movie, you know, and honestly, it had an interesting message towards the end. I mean, you know, you hear about these, you know, stores that are just preaching that they're doing good and they're you know, good for the environment, or they're you know, they're really nice, and we're PC, and we're all this, we're trying to make a better world, but obviously it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know, at the very end, you have these slogans getting splashed with blood. You know, that's like this comes at a price. You know, your cheap ass jeans that you're getting from the mall are coming at a bloody price. You know, it kind of hits you home in a way, you know, and it's showing the kid, you know,
message.
Basically, you know, it's like, it's not a not too subtle knock on like, hey, you know, this luxury comes at a price. But aside from that, I do wish the movie did have a little more humor. It did these things, and this is something you didn't mention, but it's fine. But there were 3 different instances when they had like flashback montages in a way, like just cuts of what previously happened in the movie, and you think it's going to reveal something, but it doesn't. It just kind of recaps what happened. You know, like they had like when Craig was kind of losing his mind, it showed like the splices of the girl in India, and then the you know, the motivational speaker CEO and different stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, what's going to happen? What kind of realization we're going to get to? None. And then they did the same thing with Libby when she was on the floor, and she's having all these flashbacks. She's seeing different things, and it's like all this is like waiting for a culmination to come together and give us some sort of like epiphany. No, it doesn't. So it's like, why are we doing that? Why are we doing, you know, whenever you do a shot like that, it's usually to reveal some sort of, you know, something exposed, something new, some twist. But it never happened. So I'm like, why are we doing that? Yeah. It looks cool, but it's not tying anything else in. So that kind of, you know, bummed me out. I am going to say so bad it's good. It's fun. It's silly. I feel like it got a little dark towards the end. You know, like this is not justice. You know, this is you're just killing to be killing. She gets killed by capitalism, basically. They just run her over to get the newest hot jeans. And I was bummed. I like a happy ending, damn it. And you didn't get one. You felt so bad for Libby. But overall, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I'm going to say I mirror a lot of the same things you did. You said. I will say I also thought the acting is actually pretty solid in this. It's not bad.
Craig nails it.
I was just about to say that. Craig is my favorite in this. Libby's fine, she's solid. But Craig is so good in this character. Like, just crushes it. Like, it's so part. Like, the part it makes me laugh because of how good he is as being this weird corporate robot, over PC, overly nice, just like to the point where it's sickening. And he crushes this part so well. That he alone makes it worth watching. But it's a short movie. It's only like an hour 10, 15 minutes long. So it's a short one. And I thought the same thing. Like, oh my God, Killer Jeans. How this is gonna be? Like, I thought we were going with Killer Donut, Killer
just
Rat
going bizarre,
level.
bonkers over this, but
ridiculous.
It's pretty tight.
But they do the special effects are solid. They're real good. They're practical. They're good. The blood's good. The kills are way better than I thought. Was it a little more preachy in a way about the corporate stuff? Yes. I thought I thought we could be again more like
hokey fun.
I mean, very much like they have like killer rack, killer donuts type thing. Not so
kind of
not so preachy. But that said, they did do a really good job of putting a humorous light on the ridiculousness of the pretentiousness of these type of stores and the people that work there that buy into this garbage. So that was good. But yeah, you're right. The ending is sad. It does get dark with Libby dying from he said she's killed by capitalism, basically. But overall, yeah, 100% So Bad It's Good. It's free to watch. It's only like a little over an hour, so it's worth your it's not going to take a lot of your time up. I definitely suggest check it out and enjoy it. Where else you can see Killer Blue Jeans?
Right.
And it's done pretty well at that too.
And I gotta say, a lot of something we really didn't comment too much. The cinematography is pretty good.
Yeah,
very eerie. It's certain
other than the part where it gets really dark in the warehouse near the end, where it's hard to see what happened. Everything else is pretty well done.
Good shots, very like classic horror shots, like slow moving forward. You hear a long dark hallway.
Yeah.
Slowly moving forward. You hear something in the distance. It creates a sense of atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm the only thing that disappointed me but it's a good way because like I thought this would be like I said, you said yourself, like the episode today. I thought we were gonna have it was gonna be more. We had more jokes. We'd have more stuff, material to work with, more big thing to rip it apart. But it's not. They did. They did it so well to the point where we didn't have much to really make fun of or as much wrong or goof on. Yeah. Other than just really making fun of the insanity and the
facts.
Some of the facts, and then just the size of the warehouse. Like I mean, how big this place would be in comparison to what would be.
There's not a lot of meat for us to use.
Really isn't. So in that case, I apologize. We got not the most entertaining episode probably to come back on the hiatus, but still, it's a good movie worth checking out. It was fun to watch, and we both recommend you guys go see it. So that said, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna wrap it up this week. We're back sometime. We're back again with another episode. In the meantime, guys, if you like us, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. If you really want to support the show, you can check us out on Patreon. That really helps out a lot. We love everybody who does. So thank you very much for your continued donations and support there. We love you all. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. And in the meantime, watch more horror movies. And remember to always keep it tight.